method you use to catch shrimp will vary depending on your location, time of year, and time of day. Here are some common methods, but be sure to check your state-specific shrimping regulations. Nets. There are two main types of nets that can be used to catch shrimp: cast nets and scoop nets. A cast net is a large, weighted net that is thrown out onto the surface of the water and sinks to the bottom, trapping the shrimp underneath. This can be done from a boat, dock, or even while wading in shallow water. A dip net is exactly what it sounds like: a small handheld net dipped into the water to catch the shrimp. This is best done at night, with a light to help you spot the shrimp's reflective eyes. Traps. Special shrimp traps can be left in the water, sometimes overnight. The shrimp swim into the trap but cannot escape. Shrimp baiting. A South Carolina specialty is the annual shrimp baiting event, in which participants set up a series of stakes, drop bait between their stakes, and then cast nets at the shrimp that approach the bait. Participants must have a specific shrimp baiting license and adhere to strict regulations, including that they are not allowed to sell the shrimp. What to do with your catch? Once you catch shrimp, you have a few options for how to dispose of them. Using shrimp as bait. Shrimp are great live bait, as most saltwater fish eat shrimp as part of their natural diet. While you can also fish with fresh or frozen shrimp, live shrimp will give off the scent and movement that attracts fish best in the water. There are two main types of shrimp: wild-caught and farmed. Wild-caught shrimp come from the ocean, bays and estuaries and are caught using a variety of methods, including trawling, drop netting and traps. Farmed shrimp, on the other hand, are raised in controlled environments, such as ponds, tanks and canals. These environments are carefully managed to ensure optimal growth and health. Harvesting methods and quality. Wild-caught shrimp are generally considered to be of higher quality than farmed shrimp due to their natural diet, which often includes plankton and other small marine organisms. This diet gives wild-caught shrimp a more distinctive flavor and texture than farmed shrimp. Farmed shrimp, on the other hand, are often fed a diet that includes fish meal and other feeds, which can affect the flavor and texture of the shrimp. While farmed shrimp are generally cheaper than wild-caught shrimp, the quality and taste of the shrimp can vary depending on the farming methods used. Sustainability. Sustainability is a significant concern in the shrimp industry. Overfishing is a major problem for wild-caught shrimp, which can lead to population declines and habitat destruction. Some wild-caught shrimp are harvested using sustainable practices, such as using nets to reduce bycatch and avoiding areas with sensitive ecosystems. Farmed shrimp can have negative environmental impacts due to the use of chemicals and antibiotics, as well as the potential for disease outbreaks. However, some farms have adopted sustainable practices, such as using natural feed and reducing waste, to minimize their environmental impact. Advantages of wild-caught shrimp. One of the significant advantages of wild-caught shrimp is its natural diet. Wild-caught shrimp feed on plankton and small marine organisms, giving it a unique flavor and texture that is difficult to replicate in farmed shrimp. Additionally, wild-caught shrimp is often considered to be of higher quality due to its natural habitat and lack of exposure to antibiotics and other chemicals. Wild-caught shrimp is also considered to be more sustainable if harvested using sustainable methods. Advantages of farmed shrimp. Farmed shrimp is often cheaper than wild-caught shrimp, making it a more affordable option for consumers. Additionally, farmed shrimp is available year-round, while wild-caught shrimp may only be available during certain seasons. Farmed shrimp is also less affected by weather-related disruptions that can affect the harvest of wild-caught shrimp. Finally, farmed shrimp is often considered to be more consistent in flavor and texture, which can be an advantage for chefs and food manufacturers. Shrimping is a popular recreational activity that allows fishing enthusiasts to venture into the world of crustaceans. Whether you are a seasoned angler or a beginner looking to explore a new hobby, shrimping for fun offers a unique and exciting experience. In this comprehensive guide, we will walk you through everything you need to know to get started with shrimping for fun and make the most of your adventures on the water. Shrimping is typically done in coastal areas, estuaries, and tidal creeks using a variety of methods such as netting, trapping, or even hand catching in shallow water. Shrimp tend to congregate in areas with marshes, seagrass beds, and sandy or muddy bottoms. Online forums, local fishing communities, and tackle shops can be great sources of information on good shrimping locations. How to shrimp. The most common way to catch shrimp is to throw a weighted net over a school of shrimp and pull the net toward you. You should practice casting your net first to master the technique. Baiting is another technique that requires you to check your traps regularly. Another way to catch shrimp is to use a dip net. Using a boat, raft, or even wading in shallow water, you can try catching shrimp with a net in the upper water column. Do I need a license to go shrimping? In order for someone to fish for shrimp recreationally, a person must have a fishing license to catch or attempt to catch shrimp from salt water. Specific rules and exemptions vary from state to state, so be sure to check the local fishing regulations where you plan to fish for the most accurate information. Where to go shrimping? There are many places to catch shrimp recreationally in the United States. The Gulf Coast is home to some of the best shrimping spots in states like Texas, Louisiana, and especially Florida. Check out our guide to the best shrimping spots in Florida for a more detailed list of great shrimping spots in Florida. Giant types of nets. Depending on the method you choose to use, there are many different types of nets for catching shrimp. Cast nets. Cast nets are the most common tool used in recreational shrimping. Choose a net with a mesh size that matches the species of shrimp you are targeting. Net sizes typically range from 6 to 10 feet, depending on your preference and the area you are fishing. Dip nets. Dip nets are a very popular method of shrimping and are especially great for kids. Dip nets typically have a smaller mesh size and a long, pole-like handle that allows the user to reach farther. Seine nets. A trawl is a large rectangular net with a float along the top edge and a weight along the bottom edge. Trawls are designed for use in shallow waters such as estuaries, marshes, or along the coast. This type of net has the advantage of covering a larger area than other shrimp fishing methods such as trawls or dip nets. They can be particularly effective when targeting shrimp in shallow water, as they allow for the capture of a large number of shrimp in one haul. Other equipment and tools needed for shrimp fishing. Baits and shrimp. Baits made from fish heads, chicken necks or cat food can attract shrimp. Be sure to check local regulations regarding the use of traps and any bait restrictions. Boats and kayaks. Depending on the method and location of shrimp fishing, you may need a boat or kayak to access prime shrimp fishing grounds. Make sure your vessel is in good condition and equipped with safety equipment. Shrimp lights. Shrimp are often attracted to light at night. Using underwater lights can help lure them closer to your net, increasing your chances of a successful catch. Bucket or cooler. You will need a container to store your shrimp. Make sure they have lids to keep the shrimp fresh and prevent them from escaping. Gloves. Optional but recommended, gloves can protect your hands from sharp objects or shrimp. Collecting freshwater shrimp as bait. Freshwater fishing tips: land fishing shrimp. Collecting freshwater shrimp as bait by Addict Tackle. There are few better baits in freshwater than shrimp. Everything from spotted perch to Murray cod will catch shrimp, and with certain species, such as perch and yellow perch, it seems like you can catch as many shrimp as you can get. Collecting shrimp is relatively simple, but before you go shrimping, make sure you are familiar with your state's bait collecting regulations, as they vary from state to state. Most areas allow at least one bait trap with a double entry funnel. The STM 60mm 2-entry collapsible bait trap has an integrated bait zipper and will catch shrimp with ease. Where raised netting is permitted, the Net Factory Yabby Pyramid steel drop net frame is more than enough for a few shrimp. The key to collecting shrimp is to use good quality fresh bait. Shrimp will eat all types of food, but prefer those with a high oil content. Meats such as chicken, fish, canned meat, cat food, as well as oily fruits such as cantaloupe will attract shrimp from a distance. While setting the trap during the day can be successful, catching shrimp is best done at night. Checking the trap regularly, every hour or so, will ensure you get the most out of your trap. If you notice the shrimp numbers starting to dwindle, refresh your bait. Once you have shrimp, you can keep them for quite some time in a sinking bait bucket, a regular bucket with an aerator, or in a live well. With shrimp on board, you can enjoy one of the best freshwater baits available. Next time you're camping near a lake or river, pack a crawfish trap. Crawfish are a great option if bait isn't working, which is a common situation for many people. Aquaculture is a major sector in today's world with an ever-increasing demand for safe and sustainable food production. Biodynamic aquaculture is growing in the United States and uses Pacific white shrimp raised in pens or greenhouses. To test this new technology, NHC Grant has funded a demonstration project at the University of New Hampshire's Jackson Estuarine Lab. Here we are testing the productivity of a relatively small-scale system to determine its practicality for use by farmers, fishermen, or entrepreneurs. Cooked shrimp. Shrimp are raised in a terrestrial recirculating aquaculture system. They are raised in tanks or pools 10 feet in diameter and aerated to move the biofloc water through a filter. It takes 5 months for the shrimp to reach market size. The end product is high quality, locally grown shrimp delivered fresh, eliminating the need for chemical preservatives during processing and shipping. The resulting flavor and texture are significantly improved thanks to the sustainable farming practices and high-quality feed, Ziegler, used in this production method. Shrimp is a good source of protein, on par with beef tenderloin. It's high in calcium and vitamin B12. It's low in saturated fat, which is good for your heart. And although shrimp is high in cholesterol, experts are no longer concerned about the health effects of dietary cholesterol. But if you're looking for the other nutritional benefits we've come to expect from seafood, you'll be disappointed. Shrimp tails aren't particularly rich in omega-3 fatty acids, iron, or iodine. From a nutritional standpoint, says Zach Kern, a nutrition researcher at Stanford University's Center for Ocean Solutions, it's like the white meat of the sea. Most seafood is more nutritious than land meat, but the shrimp Americans consume is low on that list, right up there with cod and tilapia. Chicken has more protein, and seafood like sardines, salmon, and oysters are much more nutrient-dense. With all the shrimp Americans eat, the average American consumes 4.1 pounds of shrimp per year. One might wonder, how do shrimpers get their hands on those delicious wild shrimp? What surprises many is that shrimp is an inherently sustainable annual crop. The shrimp our members process are caught in the warmer waters of the Gulf of Mexico and the South Atlantic. If these shrimp are not harvested, processed, and eaten, they die or are eaten by larger fish in their wild habitat. year, a new crop of shrimp grows and is ready to be harvested. Shrimpers have used the same basic techniques to catch shrimp in all sizes of boats for over 100 years, with advances largely aimed at increasing efficiency and improving environmental stewardship. Shrimpers have an innate interest in maintaining the environment and the shrimping industry because their livelihood depends on it. The main feature of a shrimp trawler is the trawl itself, a large specialized net that sinks to the ocean floor and is pulled behind the trawler. The industry has made major improvements over the years to ensure that turtles can escape through turtle excluder devices, TEDs, and that bycatch, other fish caught in the net, is minimized through bycatch reduction devices, BRDs. The industry is closely regulated to ensure that guidelines developed by the industry and the National Marine Fisheries Service, part of NOAA, are followed. The shape of the trawl resembles a flattened cone, with a wide front end that allows for the capture of a wide variety of shrimp. The bottom of this mouth is weighted while the top is attached to buoys, allowing the top to rise to open the mouth to catch the shrimp. At the front of the bottom of the net is a metal chain called a hopper. As the net glides over the ocean floor, the hopper pushes the shrimp off the floor, making them easier to catch. The conical structure of the trawl funnels the shrimp down until they reach a pocket, where the caught shrimp are retained. The trawl is then pulled in by the boat's powerful rods, where the fish are released onto the deck, collected and iced, or frozen for sorting and further processing. As seen in the video below, an average shrimp boat typically incorporates up to 4 trawls, 2 on each side of the boat, lowered into the water by devices called outriggers, which are long metal rods that extend out on the left and right sides of the boat and lower the trawl into the water while also helping to stabilize the boat even in the roughest of waters. The primary objective of commercial shrimp fisheries is to maximize the target catch in order to achieve the highest profit. Commercial shrimp fisheries achieve this objective by using trawls. Trawling is a highly destructive form of fishing and unfortunately does not take into account ecological consequences. Trawling, using either a bar trawl or a trellis trawl, is used to maximize shrimp catches. However, it also maximizes bycatch. Bycatch is much larger than the shrimp and target species caught by trawling. Much of the bycatch, including non-commercial fish, juveniles, and detritus, is brought ashore and dumped back into the ocean as dead fish. Dumping of bycatch then pollutes the water and contributes to the death of other species living in the area. As weighted trawls are dragged across the ocean floor, seafloor habitat is destroyed and collected by the net. Trawling destroys complex habitat structures and seagrass beds, and alters the biochemical composition of sediments.